Hi guys, one of your assignments this week you will find on Google Jamboard. It's a Jamboard that I'm going to share with you. It's called Attributes of a Quadrilateral. Google Jamboards is just another one of the Google Suites, tools that you've used in the Google Suites. You're accustomed to using Docs and Drive and Slides. This is another tool. This specifically allows you to draw. And so what I'm going to have you do this week is to draw shapes. Now I've included this diagram down here, which you'll remember from many of our lessons, because when I'm asking you to draw, I'm not asking you to memorize. Maybe you already know the attributes of all of these shapes that I'm asking you to draw, but whether you have memorized them or not is less important than whether or not you're getting practice drawing these shapes and their various attributes. Remember, attributes is just a fancy word for features or rules. So I will start us off teaching you how to use the drawing tools and reading what I'm expected to draw. You will draw a parallelogram, a rhombus, a kite, a square, and a trapezoid. And you will include the attributes of that shape. Let me show you what I mean. Using this drawing tool over here, I'll click the pen. I can use any color I want. I'm going to stick with black. Now I've got this circle that's actually the tip of the pen. And I've got this great grid paper to help me guide my lines. So your lines don't have to get all crazy and wobbly. They can be straight. Because I'm asked to draw a parallelogram, the first thing I'm going to do is draw what I know a parallelogram must include. That's a set of parallel lines. So the first thing I'm drawing are those parallel lines. Now, I also know that this is a four-sided shape. So in some way, these lines have to connect and close. But if I'm confused and I want to make absolutely certain that I'm drawing the right shape, I'm going to peek down at this quadrilateral family tree chart, and I'm going to see that a parallelogram, in order to draw a parallelogram, I must have opposite sides that are parallel. So that's plural. That means that not only must this side be parallel, but these two sides must be parallel too. So I'm going to close those lines now. And look, I have a parallelogram. Terrific. Now over here, I also have an option for including sticky notes. And I'm going to include sticky notes to show that I know what the attributes of a parallelogram are. So I know that a parallelogram is a four-sided shape. I'm going to include that as one of my stickies. You can see it just flew up there. I'll resize it later. Let me add the other attribute that I know is critical for a parallelogram. That is that two opposite parallel sides. Right? And you can write this in bullet form. You don't need to write complete sentences. There are two opposite parallel sides. Now I'm done. I can press cancel here, and I can drag these down to my shape. And they're a little big. I don't want them that big. I don't want them to be bigger than my shape. So I'm just going to drag the corners, resize them, and look, I have two sticky notes describing the attributes of my shape. Now, if you want to get really, really specific and you want to include lines that are very straight, you can search up using Google image search a parallelogram. And they've got all sorts of examples here, but you can pick one. That's fine. Resize it and stick it underneath your shape. I'm fine with that. Just be sure that underneath it, you include your sticky notes that describes its attributes. I would encourage you to draw and use the drawing tool, but also there is a Google search to support you if needed. All right? That's the assignment for this week. You will draw all of these shapes and their attributes. If you need to move this around to give you space in order to accomplish that, that's fine. When you're done, if you want to drag this corner in and make it really, really small, that's fine too. Good luck.